Welcome to Track Sport Garage with Vic and Steve. I'm Steve Granke.
And I'm Vic Simone. Today, Steve, I want to talk to you about something that's, gets a lot of mechanics' attention all the time. And that is the report that's on the work order when it's handed to you. And you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Here comes the work order, and it says, customer's concerns, okay? Everybody says customer states. I think it's a customer concern more than a customer states.
Yes.
Because he's worried, or she is worried about something on their vehicle.
Yeah.
So you've got a customer that comes in, and they're complaining about something. The service advisor takes in the information, then hands you the work order, and you look at the work order, and it says, report on noise while driving, and that's it.
I know.
What do you do with that?
Yeah, you have to go back to the service advisor and say, what is it? When does this happen? Like, is it, driving 50 kilometers when it's braking, cornering? When does it happen? And they turn around, well, that's all she said to me.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, you have to ask questions.
No, I think it's that's training, obviously. And I know that service advisors, I think they do get some training. I don't know if it still happens now or not.
They do have them.
Okay. And is there any motivation towards this training, or is it just they go there to spend a day, eat and drink and go back to the shop and be the same?
Pretty much.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. You know what? A person that takes their job seriously will sit back and listen to what the customer has to say, right? And ask the questions. Okay, so you've got a rattle while driving. What speed does it happen at? What type of road condition are you on? What's the temp? Is it after you've been driving for a while, or when you just first take off with the car? There's a whole bunch of things that got to be asked.
Exactly.
And if I'm not mistaken, our manuals when we worked at Nissan, when I did anyways, and I'm sure you still see them now, they actually have a page of questions to ask customers, do they not?
Yes, they do. And you can print that picture off because and it has a picture of the car in different dimensions to show where this rattle's coming from, like if they know roughly where the noise is coming from.
Right.
And a whole bunch of descriptions.
Okay. So, we can talk about some of the weirdest ones we've ever had, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there was one I had, and I do recall this was a Nissan Maxima, and the customer's been back about 4 times for this same rattle noise, right? And it's been through various technicians, and now I'm finding out about it after the 4th time. So I'm getting involved with this, and it's a Thursday night. I think it was a Thursday. We were open until 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. So here I am. I read the work order. It says, report on rattle while driving. And that's it. The same thing.
Yeah.
So I happen to catch the customer out there because he's waiting. Now, he's not upset and he's not happy, but he's been back 4 times for the same noise, right? So I say, where does this problem happen? Okay, it said it happens only on this turn, on this street when I'm in the morning when I'm going to work. I'm going, wow. Okay, so tell you what, that's about 20 minutes from here. Let's go. We're driving over there, and you're going to take me there, and you're going to show me this noise because we can't find it, right? So sure enough, we go, and we have a conversation talking about life basically in the car and things like that, right? And he says he loves the cars just for this noise.
Yeah.
So we get to this spot, and I make this turn. And the turn is a long right turn. All of a sudden, I hear this little boom underneath the car. It's a rattle. I'm going, man, that sounds like the exhaust is hitting the floor. You know what I mean? It was just so quick and faint, right? Yeah. So I did it one more time, went back, did it another time to get a feel of it. Now we go back to the dealership. I drop them off at the front. I put it up, and then I bring it in the shop, put it up in the air, and I'm looking at the exhaust system because that's what really caught my eye. It looks perfect, except for one thing. The bracket on the hanger just after the muffler is bent. And when you make that sweep and turn, the exhaust moves over that maybe 1/4 of an inch, whatever it is, and that bracket hits the floor. So it wasn't even a manufacturer's defect. It was because he had hit something and bent the bracket. But you know what? I straightened it out for him. He's been back 4 times.
And it only did that noise on that certain road and that certain corner at the whatever Evelate.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was 40 minutes of time. 40 minutes to go out to do this. 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, right? And we fixed it, right? And because he's been back so many times, I said, you know what? Just let him go. We're not going to charge him for this. I mean, it's too bad that we didn't get the information first. If we had had the proper information first, then maybe somebody would have said, let's go out for a drive. Because what's the best tool of fixing a vehicle? Who is the best tool that you need to fix a vehicle? It's the customer.
Yeah.
Right? I've had, oh my God, this was the best. He bought a brand new car. It was a Altima, and it was 3 days old, and he had this rattle in the dash. He said, "I'm taking it back to the dealership. They're going to take my dashboard out. They're going to fix it." I go, "Oh my God! If they take your dashboard out, there's going to be more rattles."
Oh yeah, that's always the way.
Right? So he goes, "No, I've been back there. It's been a week now, and they're going to take it in. They're actually going to take my dashboard apart." They called me. I go,
Is this because I had one the same way? Was it sunglasses in the sunglass holder?
"Yeah, exactly." Why would you mention that now? I wanted to surprise everybody.
Because I had okay.
But yeah, the sunglasses.
But
And he
just
goes,
so you know, if you're sitting in the passenger seat, it sounds like it's coming from the driver's side, and if you're the driver's side, it sounds like it's coming from the passenger side.
That's right.
So that's why I remember doing that. And I go, well, then the noise has got to be somewhere in the middle.
"Yeah,"
And then just fluke just to open up the sunglass holder. There's a pair of sunglasses in there, and it's sliding from side to side when you go around
That's
the corner.
right.
You take them out, noise was gone.
Yeah. Well, the best part is, do you have to hit the table so hard, man?
Okay, just take it easy.
The best part was he goes, "Hey, those aren't even my sunglasses." He says, his daughter
really?
took the car one day and didn't tell him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that, right? But like I say, when it's time to figure out stuff like anything to do with a customer concern, hesitation, stalling, whatever, you have to get all the information right from the beginning to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have you come across?
Some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything on the top of my head right this second.
No.
But
What about that noise?
yeah.
You know that noise?
How many times you go with the customer you go for a ride with the customer, and then I said, I don't really hear anything. He goes, oh, it's not doing it now. Figures, it
Yeah.
always seems to not happen. And so you go for an extensive road test, like for half an hour, going, oh, but it's not doing it. And then he goes to leave, and he turns around, comes back, and says, oh, it's doing it now. It's like, holy crap.
So that means it's got to be something to do with the passenger seat then. Right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It ends up being that it was a bottle stuck underneath the passenger seat.
What kind of bottle?
A Coke bottle
Oh,
or
okay, I
a
was
water
gonna
bottle
say.
or something like that. I guess the weight of me sitting on it squashed it so it didn't move around.
Yeah, you're
So then, what are you gonna say? You don't say I'm a big
I was going to
fat
say
pig.
it. You know,
And then so with the weight off of it, then it would start rolling around underneath the seat.
okay. All right. There was another one too. I remember we sent one of our young guys out when we were. So he goes out for a test drive with this lady, and she's going, "Oh my God, the noise is terrible. It's terrible." And he says, "I can't hear anything." He's telling us what happened.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything. So we're driving. She says, "Oh my God, can't you hear? Can't you hear it?" He says he's slowing down the car, and she says, "I can hear it. I can hear it." And he says, "I can't hear anything." Right? He finally gets to a stop. Right? And she goes, "Can you hear it? Can you hear it?" He says, "I can't hear anything." So he shuts off the car. He says, "Do you hear it now?" And she goes, "Smart ass." So in other words, I don't know what the noise was, but he thought it was something spiritual. Remember that?
Yeah.
Must have been a spiritual noise. Oh, so they never did find out what was wrong with that car anyway, but that was one of them.
Yeah.
And then I had one that was the weirdest noise. The guy had come in a few times, same thing, right? Can't find the noise. So I said, let me go out for a drive with this guy. And we went out and we were heading, east and then west. When we started heading west, all of a sudden, heard this little real quick noise like that. He goes, "That's the noise. It's a high-pitched noise like somebody's flapping a hockey card on a pedal of a bicycle,
Oh, yeah,
right? Or a
yeah.
baseball card, whatever you want." So we come to a stop, and I pull into this gas station, and we're sitting there, and the wind was really strong that night. It was like, 80-kilometer-an-hour winds. All of a sudden, we hear that noise go steady, like that. I get out of the car, I look, and I go, "Oh my God, it's a piece of his molding on top of the windshield."
Oh, right.
You know what happened, right? He was scraping off ice and snow, and he sliced the molding, and there's a piece of rubber flapping in the wind right on the roof.
Yeah.
But it was so small; it was only like 2 inches long, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, get back to the shop and just cut it off and say, "Okay, off you go, man."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that one too. So there's a lot of squeaks and rattles we can go over.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's one thing, and we're talking about training. Back to training. Training for technicians. Remember, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
We had I think really good training courses all year long, and we also had the competition, the NISTEC competition.
Yeah.
Nissan International Service Technicians Competitions.
Yeah.
Weren't they the best?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Remember, you filled out paperwork every couple of weeks. You do answers and questions and answers, and you get scored on that. And then when you finished all that, we got invited to the hands-on, I guess, technical repair part of it.
Right.
Right? Remember that?
Yeah, that was the second. The second you'd have. I guess it was the 10 best marks went to the hands-on.
Yeah, something like that. We do it at the head office or the region, right?
Yeah.
And I still remember some of the repairs. Like these were real repairs. Like these were things that really happened on cars, right? Like the what was it? You press on, you hit the brakes, and all the lights would come on the dashboard and everything, right? There was that one. The transmission, manual transmission, where your fellow technician worked on it, but he's not here. He's on vacation now. The car came back, and the gear shift's moving excessively too much between gears, right? And it was the easiest repair you could think of, but everybody's taking apart transmissions and everything. It was just an end plate problem, right? There was all these things, and if you won that competition, then you wind up going to the North American competition, where there'd be, I think there were 6 Canadians, and I think there was like 20 Americans. We were outnumbered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the competition was in the United States, so they would take advantage of having more people.
But that was something that I liked because it made you want to work for the company. It made you want to repair cars.
Yeah.
Right? And you wanted to get better and better every time you worked on a car. Right? Now, isn't that something that, I don't know if they still do the competitions anymore.
I think they do, but I know that a lot of people are not getting involved with it.
No?
I don't think it's the same.
It's just not the same?
No. And as for the courses, we knew there used to be so many courses you could take.
Yeah.
A lot of new models. When there was a new model, you always went to that one. Well, now everything's online stuff. It's all online. So you're just reading and then doing a questionnaire at the end, and then that's it.
Wow.
And it's not the same as working on the cars. And, I think they really went away from that.
Yeah, because we had all that hands-on stuff, and I remember we were in Smyrna, Tennessee. We're in the plant, and we're doing the NISTEC competition there because I was one of the winners from Ontario, right? So it was an air conditioning repair. So the way this competition worked is, it's not how you fixed it, it's how you got to the end and fixed it. It's how you treated everything. So the first thing is, did you put seat covers and floor mats, in the car?
Yeah.
Did you put a tailpipe extension on the car, to go out the door when you run the car? Did you check the oil before you even started the engine, right? There's all these things, preparation before. Those are probably worth like 20, 30 marks, right?
Yeah.
And then it was, okay, you confirm. So was it fix it right the first time? Remember, that was the model. It was, what was it? You had, my gosh, I forgot. I tell the guys at the shop all the time, right? You got to verify, VIRR, verify, inspect, repair, and recheck. Okay, remember that? That was a big thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So you got to verify the problem. So you turn on the car, you start it up, the AC is not blowing cold, right? Okay. Next step is you go through the manual. It says here to put a gauge set on there, right? Well, first you do all the flow tests for all the air volumes for whatever reason. Then you put the gauges on there to see if the pressures are correct.
That's right.
And then you go through that and you go, okay, well, this is reading that. This one's reading this. And then the next step is, you check your temperature sensors. And you find that one of them isn't quite where it should be, right? So you do the test on that one sensor through the electronics of the dashboard, self-diagnostics and all that. You go, oh, there's a problem here. So now you get your meters out and you do your volt test and your ground test and your ohms resistance checks.
Yeah.
You go, oh, I need this part. You know what I mean? And they happen to have that with them right there. Oh, I just happen to have that here. So you change the part on the car, right? And then you recheck everything. Yes, it's working fine. Now you put away all the tools, you close everything up, and now you say you're done. Yeah. And I still remember I had this big Texas guy. He was the judge. He goes, that was a mighty fine repair, son. Just like, I must have done good because, you know what I mean?
When I was in it, I was fixing the cars, but I wasn't going by. I went by experience, and instead of going by step by step by step.
Yeah.
Like that one with the when he puts the brakes and your
Yeah.
dash lights would come
You
on.
knew what that
I saw that before because a car came from Quebec and the guy put the wrong bulb in the car.
Yeah.
It was an 1156 bulb put into 1157.
Yeah.
So when you hit the brake, it would make contact with the tail lights and everything.
Yeah.
So it would just feed back and
Sudden,
into that.
all the
So
lights come on.
I changed that. I did that repair in about 10 seconds, and my mark was low
Because you went right to
because
the
I just
repair.
went right to the repair because
Yeah.
I just.
You didn't do the step-by-step
I know.
procedure, right? And that's what we were trained to do. I don't know. I still remember that. Verify the concern, right? Inspect it, repair it, and recheck it. Very, very important. This is all for all technicians. VIRR, right? Fix it
Yeah.
right the first time.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys will go, okay, I know what it is. They changed the part. Oh, they don't even bother rechecking. They just change the part. Okay, next.
Yeah.
They didn't recheck it, right, to make sure that was it. Because how many times somebody fixed something and the car comes back within 20 minutes has got the same problem, right? Because they didn't go any further to go, okay, it needs more,
Right.
right? Whereas where I hate when you're going through the manual, it says take a good known part, try it, and then continue diagnosis if required.
Yeah.
I still get that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, nowadays you can't even, like, if it's an electrical, like a control unit, you can't take a known good control unit out of one car and put it to the other car because that control unit's already married to that car,
Yes.
so it won't work.
Yeah.
We had problems with steering racks. The guy put a used steering rack in it,
Yes.
and the car wouldn't start.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me this. I couldn't believe it. So what
Yeah.
did you have to do for that?
Had to put a brand new one from Nissan, and then configure it and mat key it and all that stuff so it's to that vehicle, and the car started and then everything was fixed.
I see.
But you can't. It's like the manufacturer doesn't want you putting used equipment in. They want you to put a brand new one in.
I can't believe it. You can't even. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how.
It's the same as the keys, like the intelligent keys.
Yeah.
You can't get a used intelligent key and program it to your car. It won't work.
Is that right?
Yeah. You have to get a blank. It's blank.
You can't just just erase it and program it. You can't just. It doesn't
No, you
happen.
can erase it, but it won't. It won't program because it was married to another vehicle.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's the software that Nissan and Honda and Toyota, wherever, they put it into that so that you can't do that.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, we did talk about something on the last episode, and I got to bring it back up. We were talking about a Nissan Micra.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
the one that you said. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
I said it was a 1997. I meant it was a 1987. I think it actually was a 1986.
Yeah.
1986 Nissan Micra.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when I was a third-year apprentice, I believe, or fourth-year apprentice. So remember the program for apprenticeships. I don't know how it is now because everything's changed. Is it still a 5-year program or is it a 3-year program?
It's still considered a 5-year,
Yeah.
but we were supposed to work like 9,600 hours, I think it was.
Yeah, I'm trying to
9,600.
remember.
Well, now they don't even go by that. Once
do
you're finished your third term,
Does that mean?
then you could actually take a course on the CFQ writing. Right, you take a course on the
Yeah.
course on the test.
A course
and then
on
you,
the test.
and then you go then you go write the test.
Okay, now here's another thing. Why is it here in Canada? If I move to a different province, I got to rewrite the test. Is that right?
Yes, before, remember, we had if you got over a certain percentage on your test and you were called an interprovincial.
That's right.
That means your license was good all over Canada.
But it's not true.
But no, they changed that. I know they just threw it out the window. You know,
It doesn't make any sense. We are all shooting for our interprovincials,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, it's gone. You can't go work in Calgary, right, or Alberta, or whatever you want, like unless you rewrite the exam.
I think so.
I thought skilled trades was skilled trade across Canada.
Yeah.
Right? They call it Skills Canada. Right?
Well, right, I remember in the States, you didn't even have to have a license.
No,
You
they
could
have
just-
some kind of program, though, don't they? Now?
Now they do, but back in the 90s, I was same as you, were getting offered jobs there because we had a license, where in the States they didn't have a license. They just say, I'm Joe and I work on cars.
So, anyways, now they mentioned that when I was at NISTEC and I won the air conditioning awards.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Mr. Cool.
Mr. Cool. They called me Mr. Cool. And they'd walk up to me from California, the guys from California. They go, how does a guy who lives in an igloo win the air conditioning awards? Right? I'm going, you guys really don't know much about Canada, do you? Yeah. But anyways, right away we got a job offer. It was guaranteed $100,000 a year U.S. All expenses paid to get everything over to California, right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to work at a dealership. So I turned to the wife. I said, you want to move to California? Oh, not right now. I'm going, okay. Well, I guess I can't take it, guys. I apologize. Yeah. And my gosh, if I had to take it, Stevie.
I had the same thing. Was in Florida.
Yeah?
And right away my wife says, no, I'm not moving away from my parents. I, okay, guess I'm staying here in the igloo.
So where were we now? We were back at the apprenticeship program. And that brings me to another thing. The driver's license program here. What is this here? Stages. Remember, we used to get, we turned 16, we go write our 365, and we were able to drive right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it now? It's some kind of tiered licensing.
Yeah. It's goes.
My kids went through it a long time ago, and I just can't remember.
They don't call it a 365. They call it a stage 1 or whatever it's called. What is it? G1.
G1. Okay.
G1, and then you get your G2.
Yeah.
And then your G3 is your actual license.
Okay, it's not like before. We turned 16, and here we are jumping into a hot rod and taking off right out of the licensing office, right? Well, yeah, as long as somebody's sitting beside you.
I remember I was 16. I lived in Oak Ridges. I took the bus to Aurora.
Yeah.
Wrote the 365 test, which was so easy. I came back, got my license, and I go, hey, Mom, let's go for a drive. I want to drive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we had to drive with somebody.
Yeah. That was 365. But
I had to drive with someone who had a license.
But we could get our license the next day if we wanted to, if we had a 365. There wasn't tiered. Now, I guess maybe we weren't responsible, or were we responsible? Because I'm trying to figure this out.
I don't know. There wasn't as many people on the road then either.
This is true. Yeah, I remember the big Dodges, those Dodge Polara cars. Remember those Dodge Polara? This huge boat, 1971 Dodge Polara, this monster.
Was that the same as the Plymouth Cordoba?
Something.
Cordoba?
I think it's bigger than that or whatever. So you picture this now. We're all about 17, 18, whatever it is, 60. The ages vary. The one guy was old enough to buy a case of beer.
Yeah.
So he went and bought a case of beer, Colt 45. Remember Colt 45 beer? Anyways, he's going into the drive-in. And he's got one guy going in to the drive-in with a 24 beer under his arm. And we're all in the trunk.
Yeah.
Right? Then, as soon as we get in the drive-in, just open up the trunk, we pop out, and we're all drinking beer and watching movies, right? Yeah. Everything's totally different now, right? Yeah. There's none of that anymore. Yeah, I guess it's better that way.
The same thing. I remember going to the drive-in, and my brother Scott, he had a Marquis?
Okay.
Ford Marquis.
Grand Marquis or whatever.
It was as big as a boat.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could get 6 guys in the trunk, right? Yeah. And then he threw lawn chairs in the back seat, whatever, and then just went with one guy, went to the drive-in, and then we all pop out, get the lawn chairs out, and we just sit there and watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, it was a little bit off topic, but just thought we'd bring that up, right?
Yeah.
Right, fun times. And I remember when I was an apprentice, my first year working at Pleasant View. Or actually, it was at the small garage, then Pleasant View, and I went to the Ashtonby campus. I went three years in a row for 2 months at a time. Right. You do the same thing?
Same thing.
Okay, good.
Same place.
So it's still the same now, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like I haven't hired apprentices for a few years because we've got licensed guys at the time more than anything else. But, how is it at your shop? Now, you got the dealership happening. You've got a lot of licensed guys working in the shop. You got apprentices working in the shop.
Yeah.
What's your ratio right now of mechanics to apprentice?
I would say 25%.
Oh.
25% of apprentices to licensed guys.
So you got more licensed guys.
Oh, yeah. We got, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 8 or 9 guys that are on flat rate.
Wow.
We have 2 apprentices.
Okay. So and these are the guys that were apprentices and now licensed mechanics, right?
Yeah.
That you trained.
Yep.
And the other guys trained. So that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's really good. Now, but it sounds like you're stacked up with licensed mechanics.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we used to get at a time where licensed guy would get licensed and he'd just pick up and leave.
Yeah. I know. Well, I just have one last week there that he was on. He did his last term at school.
Yeah.
And he's going to Audi. He's leaving.
Going to Audi.
Yeah.
So there's two things I'm gonna ask you. One thing, it's obviously for more money.
Yep.
But he just got licensed.
No, he didn't get a license yet. He doesn't have his license.
He hasn't even got his license yet.
No, he's just an apprentice, right? But he finished his third term, so he's ready to write.
So he's like a journeyman, they call him, right?
Yeah. So he's ready to write. He's going to be play right in the next. He's making an appointment for it.
Right, and he's going to be now. I don't want to bring facts and figures, but it's over $40 an hour for this fella, or no?
Once you're on flat rate, it's $45 an hour.
And that's at an Audi dealer.
Yeah.
But I just heard some young guy went to a Kia dealer, and he's making $48 an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
That's because nobody wants to work at Kia. They're doing anything to get people to come to Kia because no one wants to work on Kia because all they do is engines under warranty, right? So
how do you know that?
was told.
Oh, okay. Just thought I'd ask because, like
I was told by a general manager of a Kia dealership.
Oh, okay. Because every
He said he couldn't get anybody to come and work there for $45 an hour.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I'd look at that and go, yeah, engines? Yeah, we'll do them. That's because we could, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like now, I really don't want to do too many engine jobs anymore. I'm getting too old for
When
lifting.
we were younger, we're full of piss and vinegar, and we'd do anything.
We rebuilt them and we put them in.
Yeah.
I still remember. Wow, I still remember doing. Remember the Pathfinders and the pickup trucks, the V6 and the
Yes.
Quests.
Oh yeah.
Boy, what a mess that was, eh? All
Oh,
these
yeah.
engines, all because of a squirt. Was it the
They
thrust?
didn't put a oil hole in the thrust side of the
Connecting rod for the piston.
con rods. Yeah.
Yeah, to squirt up and the pistons would slap.
So brand new car, we'd start it up, and it'd be rapid, rapid like a bastard.
But only in Canada and the northern states would they hear it. Because in California, you wouldn't hear it because it's already hot. Remember, only having the cold engines. And I remember bringing them in for a Pete. I go, man, this thing sounds like the motor's going to fall.
Yeah, it's ready to blow.
And then they came out with that campaign, right, to replace all the engines. And I remember.
Well, first we were rebuilding them.
That's right. And that's how we got into
Then
it.
we did short blocks, and then we built long blocks.
Yeah. And I still remember the rebuilding process. I don't know if you were at the shop or not. They dropped off all this equipment at our shop, and they said, we're going to leave this stuff here overnight. There's going to be some engineers coming over to work with you guys, right, to do this rebuild.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, great. And they said, can you pull in Quest unit number blah, 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 and pull the engine out, right? And then the guys will be here tomorrow or 2 days, whatever it was, the engineers. So I pull the engine out, we put it up on a stand. They come over, and we're taking apart the engine. They're measuring everything because they wanted all the tools to be in the same temperature overnight as the shop was.
Yeah.
And the engine to be inside overnight too, right? So when we did it, everything's the same tolerance, right? So they came out there with, what was it? They came out with the tools. They had, remember the honer for the cylinders? You had the honer, the three stones, right?
Yeah.
Well, I brought out deglazing balls. I said, look at this, right? The deglazers, right?
Yeah.
And they went, what is that? I go, that's deglazing ball. This way you don't rough up the cylinders that much. And they, okay, that's going to be the new tool, right?
Yeah.
They saw that. So they said, okay, that's part of our new campaign, that tool right there. Can you get us the part number, who makes it, and everything else, right? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now we're rebuilding the engines. Then I guess it took too long for people to rebuild these motors that they went into the short block.
Yeah, because
And then-
there were just so many vehicles.
Yeah, and it would take up a lot of
And,
space,
like,
right?
we could be doing 5 every day, but we couldn't.
We were
There'd be
doing
no
a
way.
lot. I remember going in on Sundays to finish them up. I still remember that, right? It was nonstop, right? You just had to keep the shop flowing. So you
Yeah.
had to do so many engines, and then, of course, you had to get the regular customer pay stuff, too. Otherwise, you got to stay afloat, right?
Yeah, well, it was all the 3-liter V6 engines. So
Yeah.
it was Frontier, Pathfinder, Quest.
Yeah. It was just those ones, mainly built in North America, I think. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah,
because
someone was floating down the river somewhere over that mistake.
That's the-
That cost them millions.
It probably did. My God. Yeah. Just to save what? Maybe 10 cents an engine?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't very much.
Yeah, and do they still run into manufacturers? All have their own things. Every manufacturer has something that just goes completely out the window, right? Like that was engines, and there was other things too, right? And I don't know, like other manufacturers, I know they've got transmission problems, whereas They've got engine problems on some GM products, transmission problems on some GM products, like newer stuff I'm talking right now.
Yep.
And I hear a lot of people talking about it, go, really? I don't drive one, so I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that. Right? Like I remember when the CVT transmission came out, oh my God, everybody's got problems. Well, they've been using them in Europe for 10 years before they brought them out here.
Yep.
So how the heck do we wind up with all these problems here? And I don't know if it's because we get the transmissions hotter because we drive them more and we just shut them off when we get to our destination instead of letting them idle to cool down. Because how many people do you know will drive 2 or 3 hours, get to the destination, and let it idle for a minute or two before they shut it off? I don't know of anybody except me or you or anybody I've told to cool down their transmissions and cool down their turbos, let it cool off and let it idle. Let everything just slow down, right? Because when you shut that thing off, the transmission fluid is just boiling.
Yeah.
It's peeling off clutch packs, right?
Yeah.
So it was one of the things I always told customers, you want stuff to last longer. When you get to the destination, just let it idle. Give it a minute or two. That's why we used to have turbo timers on cars. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember
You turn
that.
off the key, walk away. It'd be
And
running
the
for
engine
about...
was still running, but then automatically shut off on its own.
Exactly. So there's all these service hints that we used to give to people too, right? And sometimes the manufacturer could tell people that too, right? Mm-hmm. Listen, you bought this vehicle, this is the way it is, and this is what you need to do to preserve stuff, like regular maintenance.
Right.
What's the biggest thing we've always said? Maintenance.
Yeah.
Right? An oil change. It says, I don't know, I remember when I first started, it used to be every 5,000. Then it went to 6,000 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Then it went to 8,000 or 4 months. I don't know what it is now, but I still try and hold people down to 8,000 maximum.
No, it's 16,000 1 year. But when I set it up to when a customer has the your reminder in your cluster,
Yeah.
I still put it 8,000 and 6 months.
6 months or 8,000.
6 months or 8,000.
Oh, wow. I set mine up for 4 months, 8,000 to be safe.
Okay.
But that's on the reminder, like the sticker. And the reminder, I can only put the 6,000 or 8,000, right? There's no time. Doesn't show any time there, does it?
No.
It just shows kilometers. And then there's a lot of vehicles that they have a percentage meter on. Okay, you probably don't see it like I do.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they have that.
Okay, right. So there's a few of them that have shown, 80%, 60%, 20. It's been over 2 years. And it's not down to zero yet. And these people won't change their oil.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the mud that's going to come out of there?
Oh, I know.
It's going to be disgusting, right? But I find the Europeans seem to have designed engines for longevity for oil changes, because they were once every 24,000, some of them that I saw. And that's the ones that you don't buy that car. You don't buy that car when it comes off lease. When it's been there 4-year lease, you just scrap that car. You don't buy that because you're thinking you get a good deal. And we all know what those vehicles are, right? They're the ones that they get dirt cheap, that were $100,000 when they were brand new, and they're getting them for like $25,000 now, because it's going to cost about $80,000 in about 2 years to keep the maintenance on that car.
Yeah.
Right? It's just terrible, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what it is that nowadays people are leasing their vehicles, where like in the 90s, the only time you ever lease a vehicle is if you own a business, it was a write-off on their business. But now everybody just leases the cars. They keep it for 2-3 years, or sometimes 1 year, and they just get a new car because it's comfortable to have that one payment, no matter what it is, than to buy a car and maintain it and service it. So what's happening is these leased cars are not getting any service. They're doing an oil change, but they don't change an air filter or anything, nothing else. No tire rotations, no nothing. Brake services, no, I don't care.
Wow.
And then get some of them and say, I'll say, you need brakes all the way around on this car. Oh, my lease is up in 3 months, so don't worry about it. I said, but they're metal to metal now. Oh, I don't care. Okay.
Because they don't own the car, they lease it.
Yeah.
But isn't there something that says you have to bring it back in good condition, where the brakes have to be good and tires have to be good? Like I remember that.
They do come from Nissan and they check the car, but they'll look at it and say, oh, it's got a check engine light, so that'll cost them. And if they see some damage to the car itself, some collision damage or whatever, then they look at tires, but they're not taking wheels off and checking to see if they needed brakes.
No. Oh,
right?
You don't want-
So they get off with it, so they don't need to do that.
I used to panic when I had to bring back my leased vehicle when I had the business there going, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say, oh my God, there's a scratch here, there's this. So I go get everything touched up and everything. And they said, are you leasing another car from us? Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just bring it back the way it is. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, because I'm leasing another car off them. They don't care.
Yeah.
Right. But I always made sure the brakes were good, the tires were good, and everything like
Yeah.
that. Right. And I don't know if I should have had to worry about that.
No, you didn't.
No, I know. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And at that,
Well, you never asked me.
well, I never thought to ask you because you never answered my questions anyway. You told me to get lost.
I know.
You said I was on my own.
I did not.
Well, yeah, I thought you did anyway.
yeah.
Well, you should have.
I'm gonna now.
And that, I guess that's about it. We will talk again about apprentice and the apprenticeship program in Skills Canada on the next one.
Okay.
I got some things to talk about there. I think you're going to like. You're going to hear a story that you're going to just shake your head at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm shaking my head at you all the time anyway.
I just look at you and I shake my head. What the hell?
All right. So we're going to pack it in for today and stay tuned for our next episode.
Have a great day.
Ciao.